All right, kids, we're going to take a little bit of notes here that deals with the tabletop, explains the tabletop trick. So at the top, I want you to write tabletop trick. I would encourage you to use a marker for part of this. There we go. And if you take a ruler, you're going to use a ruler to give you the width of the bottle. So I count maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 down. And I'm going to move kind of quick. So I jump 4 lines down, and then I'm going to draw the width of the ruler down 5 total lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what I've got. That's the width of my ruler. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a line kind of across the middle here, giving a bottom to it. I'm going to make it about, I think I'm going to make it about 4 inches. So here's my 4-inch line. Then I'm going to go back up here, and I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to make a cap right in the middle. So I'm going to go up there and try to make a cap right in the middle. Doesn't have to be a perfect looking cap. And then I'm going to connect those lines to the cap. There you go, and there you go. Okay, so this makes kind of a rudimentary water bottle, all right? And now I'm going to put the table down. And when you do the table, you're going to want to draw a line from the end of this red all the way across and stop at the other side. So stop right there. Don't go past that. And you'll see why here in a second. Okay, and I'm going to cap this off. And I'm going to draw a line down here. Continue my tablecloth because it hangs down the edge of the table. All right, now I'm going to bring my table down to the second line here. I'm going to cut in here, and right at that break, I'm going to pull it down the table. So this is going to be my table. Go ahead and finish my table bottom. Now I'm going to put 2 pseudo legs on there. I'm not going to take too long with this. Here's my legs. Okay, so that's the legs to the table that they go off down to the floor. All right, so that's pretty much it. We got the bottle, we got the tablecloth, we got the table. We're pretty set. I'm going to color in the table real quick. Take the side of your pencil. This takes no time at all, and it just gives a little bit more distinction between the things in your diagram or model. And go around, erase those lines. There we go. All right, move over to whatever color marker you have. In my case, I've been changing it up all day. I'm going to go with blue right now. The blue, which I am missing some blue markers. Not cool. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and color in the tablecloth blue so just it sticks out a little bit more and shows up. This is a tablecloth that I pull out from underneath the water bottle. And today we're going to talk about kind of the forces involved, inertia, and how this all interacts. Because if you understand this experiment, you'll do a lot better kind of understanding what we do in class. Okay? So let's talk. First off, the big old word inertia. Inertia describes Newton's first law. And it basically says an object's resistance to a change in motion. All right, so inertia is an object's resistance to a change in motion. So we say change in motion because that can include just sitting still or in moving or moving. So an object that is at rest, not moving, wants to stay at rest. It resists changing. It wants to stay still. An object in motion wants to stay in motion. And this is Newton's big idea. These things, this motion that an object has, whether it's moving or not, it wants to stay that way unless something acts upon it. Okay? Now, something that affects the inertia, there's two things that do, but one of them is mass. The more massive something is, the more inertia it has. So think of the fact that like it is harder to push a minivan from a resting place than it is to push a skateboard, right? Because the minivan is so massive, it has a lot more inertia that's resisting a change in its motion. So what does this have to do? Well, in this experiment, we have three forces going on. One's not a big deal. One's just gravity. And we're going to call each one of these a force because we want to start talking about forces. And I'm going to put gravity below it. That's one force going on here. Another force is friction. The friction between the water bottle and the tablecloth and the table. And the last one is going to be a force that we call applied. Applied force in this case is what we are doing, the pulling of the tablecloth. Okay? So gravity is pulling down, and that just is kind of keeping the friction going because it's pushing these three things together. But then the friction between the bottle and the tablecloth resists the motion of the tablecloth. So we have this resistant force called friction. In order for the tablecloth to be removed and the bottle to stay put, the force that is being applied has to be much larger than the friction force. If the force is not as large as friction, then the bottle is going to stick because of friction to the tablecloth, which will cause it to tip over, or worse yet, flip off the table. So when you do this trick, what you have to really think about doing is putting a massive force downwards and quickly in order to overcome the force of friction. Let me repeat that. For this tabletop trick to work, the force of you pulling the tablecloth has to be greater than the force of friction resisting the movement of the bottle. And that is it. Now, with this information, you should be able to perform all five of the different variable trials. And you should be using words like force, applied force, or friction force, or gravitational force, although really gravity won't be used a whole lot. Mostly friction and applied force to try to help make sense of what we did. All right, thank you very much. Good luck.